Now here we have Silver, who's looking to steal a Pokemon from Professor Elm. Oh, the irony! And now he turns around and sees me, and this is unbelievably cool. He actually kicks me away from him. Well, actually, you don't see the kicking, but that's definitely what it looks like, and it looks... Actually, he's really cool. Instead of faking, being a jerk like Blue is, Silver is actually all-out honest about it. I'm a jerk. I hate your guts. I'm not here to fake being friendly with you. No, I am evil. But as I was saying, he's trying to steal a Pokemon from Professor Elm. Now the question I'm wondering, is stealing from a thief morally correct? But enough pondering, I'm about to take my starter, and it's going to be Cyndaquil. I'm going to explain why a bit later. Once again, I'm postponing something until a later video, and here I'm going to choose. Yes, I'm not even gonna try to pick no, because sometimes at the beginning of the game you refuse the quest, and then it shows you a game over screen, such as well, the first example I can think of is Super Paper Mario, when Merlon asks Mario, "Do you want to save the world? Please, please, please!" And if you answer no 3 times, it's game over. So if I remember now, the email he's reading is from a guy who's... I don't remember his name, but he lives on Route 30 past Cherry Grove. And the acquaintance is called Mr. Pokémon, apparently. Wow, that's an original name. I hope that's not his birth name, else he probably got picked on a lot in school. You know how people often say, "Oh, children's are pure and everything," but there's nothing more vicious than a child, believe me. Anyway, since Elm is so busy writing his paper, well, he's going to send me in his place to see Mr. Pokemon, and he's going to ask me to pick a starter. As I already said, I'm going to pick Cyndaquil, though not because it's that good, it's because it's the least worst of the 3. I don't have a very good selection of starters this gen, and it's going to take 2 more generations until Totodile actually becomes a competent choice. And worse, Chikorita is still waiting! Okay, the wrapper from the snack Professor Elm ate is in there. Hey, can I pick the wrapper as a starter? It's better than any of those 3 jokers, that's for sure! No, I can't use the wrapper? Damn, I was looking forward to slapping those Pidgeys and Rattatas and Sentrets with that wrapper. Oh well, then again, the wrapper would make this game more MacGyver than it has any right to be. Okay, so as usual, Cyndaquil is the last one I am going to check, and I didn't do that on purpose. If Cyndaquil were the first I checked, I would have taken it right away, because I really didn't want to honor these other 2 jokers with some screen time. At least Cyndaquil is somewhat half-decent, since it gets Thunder Punch when it reaches its final stage, even though that's at level 36, and, Thunder Punch Typhlosion is going to be quite an awkward match against those water types. I can kick your ass, but you can kick mine as well. Thank goodness Typhlosion has more than enough speed to get by. Now, I just want you to take a look at something for fun. I'm about 4 minutes into the second video, and I only just now got my starter, okay? Now, in Pokemon Red, in just the first video, I had the time to explore Pallet Town, pick my starter, beat Blue, and get quite a ways into Route 1. But here, I've almost done 15 minutes of gameplay, and I only just now got my starter, and there was an Oranberry attached to it, interestingly enough. And yes, I'm going to refer to berries by their more modern name, because Purrscure Berry doesn't quite cut it. But what I wanted to say before that tangent is that while Johto is definitely the most half-assed region out of the 4, well, I'm comparing to Red, Blue, and Yellow Kanto, not the even more half-assed Gold Silver Crystal version. So even though Johto is really half-assed, there's so much more content overall to show that it might take me more than 100 videos just to reach the Elite Four. Oh, and there's the potion! I was wondering where did it go? It wasn't in my PC, so I just assumed that I was supposed to start with nothing, or maybe just that Oranberry that was attached to Cyndaquil. But now I'm disappointed. I'm about to leave Newbark Town, and I still haven't encountered the technology is incredible guy! Well, at least I got that particular base covered in the last video when talking about those awesome bag pockets. So now there won't be any more running out of space in my bag crap like I did in Pokemon Red. So this is Route 29, and just like every first route in every game, it's a huge natural maze that is absolutely full of tall grass, but there are no trainers whatsoever. So this is where you fight those level 2 and 3 wild Pokemon. They're like spinach to a baby. They don't taste very good, but you gotta eat them to grow big and strong. But most importantly, look at those sprites! This is a huge relief to my eyes after 94 videos of nothing but those horrendous sprites from Red and Blue. That was... honestly, those were really eyesores. I think I actually hurt my eyes playing that game after being accustomed to the much higher quality sprites from the later games. Also of note are the new Pokemon cries. You know how the first generation's cries were all like, well, I like to call them the Atari 2600 Club because, well, that's what they sound like. Sound effects straight from an Atari 2600. But you'll take a note if I can get into a battle against Pokemon from the second generation. The cries are a bit more sophisticated. I wouldn't say they're as good as those from the later generations, but still, once again, they don't sound like sound effects out of an Atari 2600 game anymore. So here's a Sandtrap. You heard that? That is quite a bit more interesting than the from a Rattata. Well, I know I can't imitate that. I think nobody can imitate those cries. And speaking of improvements, one of my favorite ones has to be the little blue experience bar at the bottom below my HP count. It gives you a much better idea of where you are when it comes to leveling up, if you're close, if you're far away, because sometimes being 5,000 points doesn't mean anything. That can mean you're close if you're at like level 40, but you can be eons away from leveling up if you're level 100. Now, Hoppip on Route 29, I honestly didn't remember that. I don't think I've ever seen a Hoppip in this place. Must be a crystal thing, because I'm pretty sure there are no Hoppips here in Gold and Silver. But the good news is that they only know Splash, so they're just glorified experience pots. And believe me, they do give a lot more experience than Magikarps, that's for sure. So Cyndaquil learns Smokescreen. The move's not as godly as it is in Mystery Dungeon, where it makes the opponent miss for a few turns, and it always misses, by the way, so don't even ask, it's simply godly. But here, it still lowers the accuracy by a fairly decent amount, so if you can get a few free turns through Smokescreen in a really long battle, well, that is definitely going to help. That's in-game, by the way, because against a human player it's completely worthless for obvious reasons. Along with any other stat-down move, it's because you can switch out of those moves. So here's Route 46, and there's nothing to see aside from that grass here. I don't think there's even an item here. I'm just gonna check to be sure, but nope, doesn't even seem to be an item. But there are a few interesting Pokemon that hide here. Notably, if you're a Phanpy fan, it's here in Crystal. Well, that's it for the two-part pilot. See you in part 3.